Did you know that nearly 60% of adults over 65 in the US suffer from chronic inflammation, and most of them don't even know it? It's often silent. There's no fever, no obvious swelling, just a quiet storm inside the body, damaging your heart, your joints, your memory, even your bones. It's one of the biggest hidden threats to healthy aging. Now, many of my patients tell me, "Doctor, I take ginger every morning. It's supposed to fight inflammation, right?" And yes, ginger is powerful. But here's the truth: no one tells you ginger alone doesn't work well enough. Not against the kind of deep chronic inflammation we see in aging bodies. But there is a simple natural combination, one that's been part of Japanese culture for centuries, that helps ginger unlock its full healing potential. And no, it's not turmeric. It's something gentler, fermented, and full of life. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from, and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Why chronic inflammation is silently destroying your health. After 60. You might not feel it. There's no pain that screams for your attention, no swelling you can see. But deep inside your body, inflammation could be quietly at work, damaging tissues, weakening organs, and accelerating aging. This is what we call chronic low-grade inflammation, and it's one of the biggest health threats facing older adults today. Scientists often refer to it as inflammaging. It's not a coincidence that the rise in heart disease, memory decline, brittle bones, and joint stiffness seems to follow the same invisible path. Here's what's happening. As we age, our immune system becomes less precise. It starts to mistake normal tissues for threats, sending out chemical signals that keep the body in a state of mild but constant alert. That's inflammation. Day after day, it chips away at your well-being. Many of my patients, after reading online articles, turn to ginger, and they're not wrong. Ginger does have anti-inflammatory properties. It can block certain enzymes and ease discomfort, especially in the joints. But I'll tell you what I tell them. If your body is already inflamed, if your system has been under quiet fire for years, then ginger alone is like bringing a garden hose to a forest fire. You need something more. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 72, lives in Oregon, and has been drinking ginger tea every morning for 6 years. When she came to see me, her knees were still stiff, her energy low, and her sleep broken by pain. We ran some tests. Her inflammation markers were high. She was doing everything right, or so she thought. This is where deeper understanding matters. Ginger works best with allies, and the right pairing can change everything. Coming up next, we'll take a look at why older adults in Japan suffer far less from chronic inflammation despite living longer, and what they do differently every single morning. Stay with me. Why Japanese seniors live longer with less inflammation. When you walk through a quiet neighborhood in Kyoto early in the morning, it's not unusual to see elders in their 80s or even 90s sweeping the sidewalk, stretching in small groups, or sipping something warm before breakfast. There's a gentle rhythm to their lives, unhurried yet full of presence. It's no accident that Japan consistently ranks among the countries with the longest life expectancy. But what's often overlooked is how well many older Japanese live, not just how long. Rates of arthritis, heart disease, and other inflammation-linked conditions are significantly lower than in the US, even among the elderly. So what's their secret? Yes, their diet is lighter in processed food. Yes, they move more. But there's something deeper, something called shokuiku, a philosophy that blends nutrition, mindfulness, and respect for the body into every meal. It teaches people to eat with awareness, to choose food not just for taste, but for how it supports the body. One of the most common elements in a traditional Japanese breakfast, miso. This simple fermented soybean paste is more than a flavoring, it's a daily ritual, a source of beneficial bacteria, and a powerful anti-inflammatory agent when used correctly. And here's where it gets interesting. Miso doesn't just fight inflammation on its own, it enhances the effects of other natural ingredients, including ginger. That's right. In many traditional Japanese households, you'll find miso soup made with fresh ginger served warm in the morning. It's not trendy, it's not flashy, but it works. Scientific journals now back this up. Studies published in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism show that miso's fermentation process creates compounds that modulate immune response and reduce inflammatory markers. Pairing this with ginger's ability to block inflammatory enzymes can lead to a kind of synergy where 1 + 1 becomes far more than 2. The surprising ingredient: how fermented miso supercharges ginger's power. When most people in the West think about soy, they think of tofu or soy milk. But in Japan, there's a deeply traditional food that goes far beyond basic nutrition: miso. Miso is a fermented paste made from soybean salt and a mold called koji, often aged for months or even years. It's a staple in Japanese kitchens, used in soups, sauces, marinades, and more. But here's the key: it's not just food, it's functional medicine. Let's break down why. During fermentation, miso develops probiotics, live bacteria that support the gut. And as emerging research continues to confirm, gut health is directly linked to inflammation levels in the entire body. A healthy gut trains the immune system, calms overactive responses, and even influences mood and cognition. But miso goes further. It contains isoflavones, powerful plant compounds that act like antioxidants. It's also rich in enzymes that support digestion and help the body break down other nutrients more efficiently, like the bioactive compounds in ginger. Here's what that means in real life. When you combine ginger and miso in the right way, you're not just adding two healthy foods together, you're creating a chemical conversation inside the body that calms inflammation more effectively than either ingredient can do alone. Let's look at the science. In a 2020 study from Frontiers in Immunology, researchers found that fermented soy products, particularly miso, help reduce levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines in older adults. These are the very messengers that fuel joint pain, chronic fatigue, and many age-related diseases. Ginger, as you may know, contains compounds like gingerol and shogaol, which work by blocking certain inflammatory enzymes. But here's the catch: your body needs to absorb those compounds efficiently. That's where miso comes in. Its fermentation process improves bioavailability, making it easier for your body to access and use the active components in ginger. Now let me introduce you to Mr. Sakamoto. He's 92 years old and lives in a small town in northern Japan. Every morning for the past 40 years, he's followed the same routine: a warm miso broth with thin slices of fresh ginger sipped slowly at sunrise. No sugar, no caffeine, just warmth and nourishment. He walks unaided. He gardens. He even writes haiku poems by hand each afternoon. When I visited his village last spring, he told me, "We believe food should be quiet medicine. If it needs to shout, it's too late." That quiet medicine is miso and ginger together. Not a quick fix, but a daily act of care. And you don't have to live in Japan to benefit from it. How to make the miso ginger morning. Drink a gentle daily ritual. You don't need a fancy kitchen. You don't need exotic ingredients. What you need is intention. Something the Japanese have long mastered in the way they prepare even the simplest meals. This healing drink I'm about to share has been quietly passed down through generations in rural Japan. It's simple, comforting, and deeply nourishing, And when used consistently, it can support your body in calming inflammation from the inside out. Let's begin with what you'll need. First, choose the right miso. Not all miso is created equal. You want an unpasteurized organic miso, ideally labeled as fermented or live. Pasteurized miso, often found in shelf-stable containers, has been heat-treated, which kills off the beneficial bacteria. Look in the refrigerated section of natural food stores or Asian markets. There are many types: white shiro, yellow, and red, aka. For daily use, white or yellow miso is best. These are lighter, less salty, and easier on the stomach, especially in the morning. Next, fresh ginger. Avoid powdered versions or processed teas. You want a thumb-sized piece of fresh ginger peeled and thinly sliced or grated. The fresher, the better. The active compounds like gingerol are most potent when raw. Optional but powerful additions: a few pieces of dried wakame seaweed rich in minerals. A slice of shiitake mushroom boosts immunity and gut health. A dash of toasted sesame oil for warmth and flavor. Now here's how to prepare it. 1. Warm 1 cup of water, but do not bring it to a boil. If the water is too hot, it will kill the probiotics in miso. Ideal temperature is just below boiling, around 160 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Celsius. 2. In a cup or small bowl, add 1 teaspoon of miso paste. 3. Add the fresh ginger and optional ingredients. 4. Pour the warm water slowly over the mixture. 5. Stir gently until the miso is fully dissolved. 6. Let it sit for a minute or two, then enjoy slowly. You don't need to gulp it down. In fact, sipping it slowly while sitting peacefully sets a calming tone for your nervous system. This moment of mindfulness is part of its healing effect. When should you drink it? Ideally, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach or shortly after waking. It's gentle enough not to upset digestion, and warm liquids help stimulate the digestive system without the jolt of coffee. Many of my older patients ask, "Can I eat breakfast afterward?" Absolutely. Think of this drink as a primer for your gut and joints. You can follow it with a light breakfast, something high in fiber like oats, or a slice of sourdough with avocado. Let me tell you about Helen, a 76-year-old from Vermont. She started drinking this every morning after watching a video just like this. Within 2 weeks, she noticed her hands didn't ache when she gardened. Her sleep improved. And most surprisingly, she said, "I felt like I had a little more hope each morning." It's not magic, it's habit, a small deliberate act of care. And when done daily, it begins to reshape your health not overnight, but gently, steadily. 3. Japanese habits that help move inflammation out of the body. A healing drink can do wonders, but when you combine it with the right daily rhythms, the results go deeper. In Japan, wellness is rarely about single ingredients. It's about the flow of the day, the small habits that align the body with nature, with movement, and with peace. Here are 3 quiet but powerful practices I recommend to my older patients, each one inspired by how seniors in Japan live long, mobile, and inflammation-free lives. Habit number 1. Sit low when you eat. In many traditional Japanese homes, elders still sit on the floor to eat. At first glance, it may look uncomfortable, but there's wisdom in this posture. Sitting low, cross-legged, or in a kneeling position naturally aligns your spine, slows down your eating pace, and engages your core muscles. More importantly, it promotes better digestion, which directly impacts inflammation. A well-digested meal produces fewer inflammatory byproducts in the gut. You don't have to give up your chair, but try this after drinking your miso ginger blend. Sit on a cushion on the floor for a few minutes, back upright, knees gently bent. Even 5 minutes of this posture can shift your energy and stimulate circulation in your hips and lower back. Habit number 2. Take a 10-minute walk after breakfast. In Japan, walking is a way of life. Whether it's to the train station or the local market, older adults naturally walk more, and they often do it shortly after meals. This small habit, just 10 minutes of walking after breakfast, has been shown to reduce blood sugar spikes, improve digestion, and help lymphatic flow. Why is that important? Because the lymph system is like your body's drainage system. It helps carry away waste, including excess inflammation. One of my patients, George, age 81, started walking in his backyard for 10 minutes after his morning drink. Within 3 weeks, he noticed his ankles weren't as swollen. "It's like something's finally moving in my body," he told me. "You don't need to go far. Just step outside. Feel the morning light on your skin. Let your breath deepen. Let the miso and ginger do their work as your body begins to move gently." Habit number 3. Soak your feet in warm water before bed. In many Japanese homes, the day ends with a hot bath. But even if you don't have a soaking tub, you can borrow this idea through a simple practice, a warm foot soak. Fill a small basin with warm water, just enough to cover your ankles. Add a pinch of sea salt or a slice of fresh ginger. Then sit quietly for 15 minutes. This helps draw blood flow downward, relaxes your nervous system, and eases tension in the lower body. When inflammation builds up, it often gets stuck in the joints, especially in the feet, knees, and hands. This nightly ritual encourages gentle circulation, helping your body flush out the day's internal stress. One elderly woman in Nagano told me, "If I soak my feet before sleep, I wake up without stiffness. If I forget, my knees remind me." Simple wisdom passed from mother to daughter. These 3 habits, low sitting, light walking, and warm soaking, may seem small, but over time, they support your body's natural pathways for healing. They create an environment where inflammation doesn't have a chance to linger. And when paired with your morning miso ginger drink, that's where transformation begins. Japanese foods that unlock ginger's full healing potential. Ginger is powerful, yes, but like any traditional remedy, it works best when surrounded by the right companions. In Japan, meals are crafted with this in mind, not just flavor, but balance, not just calories, but chemistry. When I work with older patients dealing with joint pain, stiffness, or fatigue, I always look at their entire morning plate, not just what supplement they're taking. Here are a few traditional Japanese ingredients that not only reduce inflammation on their own, but also enhance ginger's effects when eaten together. 1. Daikon, the cleansing root. Daikon is a large white radish with a crisp texture and a gentle peppery bite. It's often served grated, pickled, or gently simmered. What makes daikon special is its enzymatic properties. It helps break down fats and proteins, lightening the digestive load. That means your body has more energy to spend on healing. When combined with ginger, daikon acts like a guide, helping the body direct anti-inflammatory compounds where they're needed most. Many Japanese elders eat grated daikon with a bit of soy sauce or miso in the morning. 2. Maitake mushrooms, the immune whisperer. Known as the dancing mushroom, maitake has been used in traditional Japanese medicine for centuries. It supports the immune system by activating natural killer cells, the very cells that fight inflammation, infection, and abnormal growth. Maitake also works well with ginger. Together, they help balance immunity, not overstimulating, but calming where needed. Add sliced maitake to your miso ginger drink, or stir-fry it lightly with daikon and sesame oil. 3. Green tea, but only at the right time. Green tea is rich in EGCG, a compound that reduces inflammation and protects against oxidative stress. But here's a nuance: drinking green tea too early in the morning, especially on an empty stomach, can irritate sensitive systems or interfere with iron absorption. That's why many Japanese elders wait until mid-morning or after a light breakfast to enjoy green tea. It complements ginger by offering antioxidant support like armor for your cells. 4. Sea vegetables, gentle mineral medicine. Seaweeds like wakame kombu and hijiki are more than just soup flavorings. They are loaded with iodine, magnesium, and fucoidan, a unique compound known for anti-inflammatory effects. They also contain soluble fiber, which feeds healthy gut bacteria, making ginger's effects longer lasting. You can soak a strip of wakame and add it to your morning miso ginger bowl for a mineral-rich start. Now let me offer you a simple weekly breakfast plan inspired by what I've seen in homes across Okinawa and Nagano. Day 1, miso ginger broth, plus grated daikon, plus a soft-boiled egg. Day 2, rice porridge with ginger and shiitake, plus a side of pickled cucumber. Day 3, warm barley tea, plus seaweed salad, plus a slice of sweet potato. Day 4, miso soup with wakame and maitake, plus steamed greens. Day 5, toasted sourdough with miso avocado spread, plus green tea later in the morning. Day 6, millet porridge, plus ginger honey dressing, plus a few slices of apple. Day 7, light noodle soup with daikon and sesame oil, plus warm foot soak after. None of these meals are heavy. They are gentle, warming, and easy to digest, just like the morning light. Together with ginger, these foods form a quiet orchestra, each note tuned toward healing. Common ginger mistakes that may be holding you back. Ginger has been used for thousands of years, and yet many people still use it in ways that reduce its healing power or even cause discomfort. Especially for those over 60, the way you take ginger matters just as much as the ginger itself. Let's look at the most common mistakes I see in my practice and how to avoid them. Mistake number 1. Taking ginger on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning. This is perhaps the most common issue, especially among those who drink ginger tea right after waking. While it seems like a healthy habit, ginger is a hot food. Energetically, it stimulates digestion and circulation. But for some older adults, especially those with sensitive stomachs, this can cause nausea, heartburn, or discomfort. Remember Helen from earlier. She used to drink strong ginger tea the moment she woke up and ended up skipping breakfast because of queasiness. Instead, I advised her to drink miso ginger broth, which softens ginger's intensity and nourishes the gut lining. The warmth is still there, but it's delivered gently. Mistake number 2. Using too much ginger at once. Ginger is powerful, but more doesn't mean better. I've had patients add tablespoons of grated ginger into smoothies or soups hoping for faster relief. What they got instead? Sweating, insomnia, or digestive upset. The sweet spot. For most adults over 60, 1 to 2 grams of fresh ginger per day is plenty. That's roughly a thumb-sized piece, sliced or grated. When used consistently, small amounts over time work far better than large doses taken occasionally. Mistake number 3. Combining ginger with inflammatory foods. It might sound obvious, but I've seen patients drink ginger tea while eating pastries, processed meats, or high-sugar breakfast bars. That's like trying to put out a fire while pouring oil on it. Ginger's anti-inflammatory effects work best when your entire meal supports the same goal. That's why Japanese breakfasts are light, whole, and clean, so the healing foods don't have to fight against processed ones. Mistake number 4. Using boiling water on ginger or miso. Many people prepare ginger by throwing it into boiling water or microwaving it. but excessive heat can destroy some of its most active compounds like gingerol, which degrade with prolonged exposure to high temperatures. The same goes for miso. As I mentioned earlier, boiling miso destroys its probiotics. Instead, use hot but not boiling water and let the ginger steep gently. Mistake number 5. Ignoring body signals. Every person's body responds differently. Some feel energized by ginger. Others may feel warm or even a little restless if they use too much in the afternoon. The Japanese have a word, jibun no karada to hanasu. It means talk to your own body. That's the real secret. Pay attention. If your body feels calm, light, or warmer, that's a good sign. If not, adjust. Ginger is not a miracle drug. It's a conversation. When used with care, it can be one of your greatest allies in healthy aging. And when you pair it wisely with foods like miso daikon and seaweed, and habits like gentle walking and warm foot soaks, you create a daily life where inflammation has fewer places to hide. So here we are. You've learned why ginger alone often isn't enough, and how pairing it with fermented miso can gently awaken your body's healing power. You've seen how small, thoughtful habits from Japan like sitting low, walking after meals, and soaking your feet can open the body to deeper restoration. And perhaps most importantly, you've discovered that wellness in older age doesn't have to mean big changes or expensive supplements. It can begin with 1 cup, 1 breath, 1 quiet morning. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. I encourage you to try the miso ginger morning drink this week. Make it your gentle ritual. Let it remind you your body is still capable of healing when given the chance. And if you do try it, I'd love to hear how it feels for you. Share your story in the comments. Your words may inspire someone else who's still searching for relief. Take care and keep choosing health one morning at a time. Disclaimer: health information shared in this video is not intended as medical advice and may not apply to everyone. Please consult with your doctor or healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet or routine. If you believe you're experiencing a medical emergency, call your local emergency services immediately.